Today's topic, we'll be talking about why student athletes should be paid. Did you know that between the years of 2011 and 2024 that the TV station CBS and Turner Sports and the NCAA will be approximately making $11 billion for televising the March Madness tournament? Also, did you know that the BCS Championship has made a 4-year deal with ESPN for over $500 million? The NCAA has made over $770 million per season in broadcasting rights. Division I sports and universities income comes from ticket sales, TV contracts, sports-related apparel, and other sports-related generators. The stars, the athletes of the sporting events, do not get paid any money, but they are the ones performing. Most of the NCAA, 81%, comes from the media rights, mostly $10.8 billion, 14-year agreements with CBS Sports and Turner Sports for the rights of Division I men's basketball championships. The remaining comes from the NCAA championships, primarily ticket sales. The NCAA has also estimated that college athletic programs annually generate about $6.1 billion from ticket sales. $5.3 billion in revenue comes from the student fees allocated to athletics. When talking about this topic, there are also pros and cons, which also comes with the problem. There are 4 primary reasons why college athletes should be paid. 1, the present compensation system is unfair. It does not give college athletes equitable compensation for his or her talent. In 2011, the study conducted by the National College Players Association and Drexel University, the fair market value of college athletes far exceeds what the award by the college or university exceeds. 2, giving the student athlete fair compensation for performing would deter student athletes from leaving college early to pursue a professional career and increasing the number of graduates. In 2011, the NCAA found 55% of Division I football players and 48% of Division I men's basketball players received college degrees and graduating. A shortfall exists, placing a burden on the financially strapped families in the first place. The financial burden is resolved by leaving school early and pursuing a professional career, resulting in low retention rates and graduation rates. 3, people have the myth that student athletes receive 100% full scholarships and free everything, which is not the case. A full scholarship means free tuition, room and board, books, and other allowanceable things, such as books, pencils, etc. It has been determined that most college athletes receive full scholarships live below the poverty line, and after first semester they are in the red for each semester every year. As an employee, the student athlete should receive a fair wage for their labor. It is a full-time job and a full-time commitment. Playing a Division I sport is like having a job. Athletes work 30 to 40 hours a week to perform a job. Their schedule is consumed with classes, going to practice, and studying. Coaches control what they do in the off-season, and they must stay fit and competitive. Like any other job, if you perform well, you'll get a scholarship, or if in a real job case, you'll get a raise. But if you can't do the job very well, the coach will either cut you and find a new player that can do the job better than you, because it's not that hard to find someone who can do the job better than you can. Of course, here comes the cons. There are many who believe that the present system of compensating college athletes work. They are against paying college athletes. First, the education that athletes receive is enough. In addition, free education and athletes receive other perks are being paid for, etc., tutoring, medical expenses, and other things. Second, more money equals more problems. Athletes are college students and are bad with money. Giving them money adds more problem. So they figure if you don't give them enough money, then they won't have too many problems to handle. Third, college athletes are not professionals. They're amateurs. They are students first and then athletes. The participating in a sport which they love and honor and is a vehicle to college education that parents cannot afford. 4. The present system is fair to all parties. The NCAA and the colleges and the university are not making enough money. The revenues are generated and distributed throughout the other sports and athletic program. Colleges are already paying their athletes. The NCAA to include their stipend for living expenses. Receiving a stipend would eliminate the need for money and discourage athletes from breaking NCAA rules, which happens a lot. You hear it a lot on the news and on SportsCenter. The stipend would allow student athletes to have more money and live the college experience like any other kid would in college. It would be a shame if a kid on a scholarship would go hungry or homeless. In 2011, the Division I Board of Directors voted to allow conferences to provide up to $2,000 to players for miscellaneous living expenses. It allows universities to provide additional monies on an individual case-by-case basis. It is a step in the right direction, but however, it is insufficient. The NCAA needs to allow the universities to fully fund student athletes. The universities are already paying student athletes, but the present cap does not cover the living expenses. The cap should be eliminated and the scholarship amount should be increased to cover the cost of attendance. This would increase the number of student graduates, which would help schools getting people to come for recruitment purposes, etc., and it makes the school look better. Thank you for listening, and this concludes my presentation.